Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Good day. Welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. The government of Guyana, through the Ministry of Natural Resources, on Friday announced the approval of the Waru Field Development Plan and the issuance of the Waru Petroleum Production License to ExxonMobil's affiliate, ESSO, and its partners, Hess Corporation and Sinnoh Petroleum Guyana Limited. The ministry, with support from the Petroleum Division within the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission, said it worked alongside ExxonMobil Guyana from May to November 2022. As part of this, it explained that various technical and financial scenarios for developing the Snook, Mako, and Waru reservoirs were presented. It is understood that the pre-submission engagements amongst MNR, GGMC, and Exxon were not a pre-approval mechanism, but served to optimize alignment with legislative frameworks and international best practices. And moving on. Key spokesman on national energy issues, Vice President Jagdeo, has clarified that the investment in current power generation facilities will not be wasted, as these will be used alongside the upcoming 300-megawatt gas-fired power plant as a backup mechanism. The Vice President on Thursday was at the time responding to former Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson, who in a public missive indicated that some $450 million in investments will be wasted to make the gas project feasible. Contrary to the belief of the opposition member of parliament, Jagdeo explained that the generators will be used as reserves. Meanwhile, ExxonMobil CEO Darren Woods disclosed yesterday that the American oil giant secured a record-breaking first quarter earnings for 2023, totaling $11.4 billion. Woods said this is no doubt boosted by prime oil projects in Guyana and the USA. He also said the strong financial performance is a reflection of Exxon's lean cost and execution efficiencies. Through investments in advantaged assets such as Guyana and the USA, and cost and operating discipline, Woods said his company was able to deliver the structural earning improvements outlined in its corporate plan update last December and expand the energy supplies needed to meet growing global demand. And now let's tell you, after receiving the relevant government approvals this week for its fifth project at the Waru field in the Stabroek Block, ExxonMobil and its partners now have their eyes fixed on securing the blessings of the relevant regulators for their sixth oil project. In fact, Hess Corporation, which has a 30% interest in the block, said recently the partnership is on track for final submission of the field development plan to the government of Guyana later this year. CEO John Hess said the approval for the sixth project is also expected by the end of this year as well. The Hess boss was in high praise of the Guyana government, as he noted that the approval process, while rigorous, is one that is working in the interest of both parties. And moving on. A Venezuelan woman was on Wednesday sentenced to 6 months in prison for trafficking in persons and operating a brothel in the mining town of Bartica. The woman was identified as 41-year-old Maylin Cordova. Cordova appeared at the Bartica Magistrates Court and pleaded guilty to the charge read under the Trafficking in Persons Act. According to the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, 2 victims were rescued at the time police busted Cordova's operation. The Venezuelan national is reportedly the 3rd person convicted this year for trafficking victims in the sex trade. And to ensure students are properly and comfortably accommodated to be taught, the Regional Democratic Council of Region 9 on Thursday signed 2 contracts valued $60 million to rehabilitate Karudarnau and Maruranau primary schools located in South Rupununi. The 2 contracts, which amount to $60.5 million, was signed between the region's Regional Executive Officer Carl Singh and contractors Gorman Digar and Birdad Harinandan. Meanwhile, the full court on Thursday allowed former President David Granger's appeal against the decision by the High Court Judge Navindra Singh to waive a pre-trial review. In 2021, Granger had filed a lawsuit against public relations consultant Christopher Kit Nascimento and 3 newspapers, claiming $2.6 billion for libel. Last June, the former President Granger had stated that he did not want Justice Singh to conduct a PTR into the matter and to also not preside over the trial, and had written a letter to the judge. At the time, Justice Singh said that while in accordance with the Civil Procedures Rule, he could understand why the claimant is objecting to him conducting the PTR. No basis had been provided for why he should not conduct the trial. And to wrap things up, on November 9, 2022, the EPA issued its 4th permit to ESSO to conduct production activities at the Yellowtail development. The permit for the first time required that a capping stack be procured and stored in country to be used in the event of a spill. A capping stack is used to cap a blown-out well. It is a heavy piece of equipment that was engineered subsequent to one of the world's most devastating spills in the Gulf of Mexico, where a blown-out well continued releasing oil into the ocean for 8 to 7 days. This tool is used to stop or redirect the flow of hydrocarbons, allowing engineers to permanently seal the well. According to the Yellowtail permit, Exxon will have up to 9 days to ensure that the capping stack reaches the location in such an unfortunate event. The Yellowtail project is expected to produce as much as 250,000 barrels of oil per day. And that does it for your news at noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise